In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what a virtual receptionist is and how it could potentially benefit your business, whether that's small, medium, or large. To make this video as quick and efficient as possible, I'm going to be breaking it down into 4 separate categories. Number 1, what is a virtual receptionist? Number 2, what are the services that they do offer? Number 3, what the benefits look like for your business. And number 4, a general gauge of what pricing would look like if you were interested in potentially hiring a virtual receptionist for your business. So what is a virtual receptionist? The best way to put it is exactly what you think it probably is. It says it in the name. It's receptionist, but basically virtual. So there are companies out there like mine, front desk pros, that replace or add to your business, depending if you have a receptionist or not, replace that receptionist more as a cost-effective solution. What they are there for are typically answering phones to kind of be that front line of your business, to create that level of professionalism and handle the calls for you so you can rather work on your business rather than in it. The best way to give you a true definition is to kind of go into the services and what a virtual receptionist company like mine can offer. So the first is the basic, which is call answering and outbound calls. Depending on the company that you do roll with, obviously every single one will do call answering, which is basically taking any incoming calls through a call forwarding system that it's more of a technicality thing. It's pretty easy to set up, and that's something that the company will take care of for you. And depending on the company as well, some do offer outbound calling as well, whether that's following up with a prospect, setting reminders for follow-ups, whatever that might look like for your business. They can take those outbound requests as well. So number 2 is call screening and forwarding. And depending on the business that you do have, it all really depends on what kind of services, whether this will benefit you or not. But call screening and forwarding is especially great for people like attorneys, tax consultants. Again, it's very niche down, but if you want the company to potentially screen your calls where somebody will call in and then transfer, they can shoot you a call real quick. Hey, do you want to take this call? I have Jill on the other line. Transfer through, don't transfer through, take a message. Companies can handle that. That's what a virtual receptionist can do, as well as forwarding, kind of the same thing. If you want to pass it through, that virtual receptionist can kind of be the buffer between the customer and yourself if your time is super valuable. Number 3, and this one is very dependent on the company. Some companies integrate it into their price. And some companies will charge like an extra $97 a month for it, but that is appointment scheduling. Depending on the type of business, whether that might be a carpet cleaning business, maybe you need tax consulting to set appointments, they can schedule appointments. You typically will have some sort of appointment scheduling system already in place, and that virtual receptionist will basically just replace you in that scenario, taking those calls, booking the appointments. One thing to keep in mind is you should already have that receptionist up to date with what your availability looks like in terms of being able to take those appointments and not being able to take those appointments. But that is super beneficial, and I know a lot of you that are watching this video will be able to take advantage of the appointment scheduling kind of service that virtual receptionist will be able to offer. And number 4 is, again, probably pretty familiar to a lot of you that do own some sort of business, is call overflow. So a lot of the times, I know you've experienced it where calls just keep coming, and potentially you're losing customers because of it. And what a virtual receptionist can do for you in that kind of situation is, if it gets to a certain number of rings, let's say you're on another call, it rings 3-4 times, that call will then be transferred to the virtual receptionist, which will kind of act as a buffer so you don't end up losing clients. So now that we talked about the 4 services, what are the true benefits that you should be able to see out of hiring a virtual receptionist for your company? So one is, and I've mentioned this already in the video, it frees up a lot of time for you to be able to work on the business rather than in the business. You're not having to handle the day-to-day operations of potentially people calling new complaints, spam calls, and that's getting more and more prevalent as probably you're watching this video. More and more spam calls are coming in from companies trying to sell their services. So you can kind of throw that out and only have to deal with potential prospects that will bring in revenue for your business. So number 2, and a super big benefit of hiring a virtual receptionist, is assuring you as a business owner that every call incoming into your business that could potentially be a customer is going to be called. We're filtering out the spam calls. We're filtering out anybody that's not interested. You're only seeing anybody that is interested. And even if people are calling after hours, we have voicemail box set up. So when potential customers do call, we can follow up with them in the morning at your request if that's something you would like. But a great part of a virtual receptionist is just not missing out on potential customers and therefore potential revenue for your company. Number 3, and this is more of a generalistic thing, it adds a level of professionalism to your company. If you've never had a receptionist, as most of our clients that come in, they just need some sort of filler for somebody that needs to answer the phone calls, whether that's because they're just taking too many calls, they don't want to deal with the calls anymore. There's a plethora of reasons, but that level of professionalism to any sort of company adds a level of respect from the customer standpoint. If you're calling in to a company and you see a receptionist answer, you kind of give that company a different tier of professionalism, and therefore that might convert more leads into potential customers. And lastly, I'll make this pretty short and quick. What does the cost of a virtual receptionist look like? Well, obviously that's going to depend on the company that you do use. For example, my company, Front Desk Pros, we start at $97 a month, ranging all the way up to custom plans, but typically our average customer will be around the $247 plan or the $447 plan per month. It really just depends on the amount of usage you're using. That's how these companies such as mine are gauging what it will cost for your company to have a virtual receptionist from our company. The $97 plan, just to give you a rough idea, is about 60 minutes, where the $447 plan comes out to about 300 minutes. And one thing that a lot of companies do, and this is kind of a bonus tip, is look for companies that have a free trial. Take advantage of that 7-day free trial. Here at Front Desk Pros, we offer a 7-day free trial where we give you the receptionist for the full week, and that way we can kind of gauge how many minutes you're using per week to be able to then, if you want to move forward, pick a plan that is appropriate, where we're not having to do overage charges and stuff like that. And depending on the company, those overage charges per minute can get pretty expensive. So I hope you guys did find some value in the video. I didn't want to make this too much of a sales pitch. I just wanted to inform you guys a little bit about what a virtual receptionist looks like and how it can benefit your business. But if you think that could be something that you would like to add to your own business model, you see it's something where you would see a lot of value, adding a caller to the front kind of lines of your business, shoot me a message. I'll have all the links in the description. My company, Front Desk Pros, virtual receptionist company. We take great pride in offering some of the best services out there in the virtual receptionist world. With that said, if you guys did enjoy, give me a like, any questions, comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.